because our rights come from God. They don't come from man, they come from God. And we form governments and write constitutions to protect your God-given rights.
You will have to swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. I suggest you read it and learn it. Reduce regulations so that they are only public, health, and safety. That's the government's function, nothing else. Get rid of these stupid building codes that are international, that stifle construction.
We're spending more money than we're actually taking in, and we're drawing on our reserves, and the people don't know that. So one of the things I plan to do when I take office, I plan to make our government make sense. I plan to have us live within a budget. Once I get budgets from my state agencies and we agree on that and I take them to the legislature, we're going to live within that budget. And we're not going to draw funds from unknown places to do things with. We're going to live within the budget, and that's going to be transparent. The budget is a little complicated, but I think most of the people in Wyoming, if you present the budget, they'll understand it. And I plan to do that. I plan to do it in two ways. One, it'll be up on the web in a readable fashion. And two, when I do town hall meetings as governor, which I certainly plan to do, people can ask any question they choose, even though I will have a couple things that I'll advertise I'm coming to talk about. The town hall meeting and won't be limited to that.
The creative ideas, the business people will diversify the economy in any direction that the marketplace dictates.
And the other thing that you have to always worry about when the government says we're going to diversify the economy, look out.
Okay.
We're going to increase your taxes, and we're going to throw money at a symptom and not worry about what the problem is. Government subsidized programs don't work.
Okay.
See, in the private sector, where my whole career has been, you have to compete, and you have to have a product that people want to buy. So it has to provide a need, or it has to satisfy a want. Well, we need to diversify the workforce, and then the people who can diversify our tax base will bring their companies here. I want to make it possible for people to come here with a company, and they've got people that have a great work ethic, which we have in Wyoming, but also within we have the talent who can work in those industries. When we do that, the tax base will automatically be diversified without government interference. Because see, what happens when the government tries to shove taxes around, you still wind up with the government picking winners and losers, and so it actually just creates more losers. Because what I've seen our state do is spend hundreds of thousands of dollars per job to get someone to come here. And that doesn't work. Right. That just doesn't work.
Clearly, the government cannot diversify the economy. That's the problem. The government has been messing with that for 20 plus years. Business Council, and now we got Endow. Worthless. What will I cut first? Endow. Now, Endow was created by the legislature, so I can't get rid of it. I can zero their budget and disband the board, and I will definitely do that. Wonderful people on that board, wonderfully successful people put in the wrong system. Consolidating school districts because of funding issues. The next piece of that, which will control spending, properly pay our teachers, and properly fund our schools, is a voucher system, K through 12. And when we do that, we decrease much of the administrative burden that's introduced actually by federal overreach. The other thing that will cause is competition in education. Homeschoolers are supported, private schools are supported, church schools are supported, and the public school system will be supported. Studying the Wisconsin system, when they did this, the public school systems improved exponentially as well. Competition for the education dollar will control spending, pay our teachers properly, and raise the level of education.
We should have 100% of our mineral wealth. And so I'm not saying we should be drunken sailors. I'm saying if we were under the Constitution, if we ran the state in a fiscally responsible, constitution-based manner, we wouldn't have budget problems. We would have an additional trust fund called Multiple Use Lands Trust Fund, and we could divide that revenue between the permanent fund and work on the interest, and then the rest could go to the general fund.
Wyoming has 52% of its land managed by federal land managers. They think they own it. They do not own it. We can not only afford to take that land over, we cannot afford to not take it over. In the first cut, when I assume control of that land, I'm going to add $1 billion a year to our coffers. So, recreation will increase, we'll clean up the pine beetle mess, we'll have more grazing, more logging, more natural resource development. Not only can we afford to take over those lands, we have no choice. We must take over those lands. What's next is we play to our strength. We have a very, very difficult situation in our market, which nationwide, with the shutting down of coal-fired power plants and the attack on fossil fuels. Now, the demand for power isn't going down, so that's an opportunity for Wyoming. When the people in the major metropolitan areas, we're talking tens of millions of customers, see their power bills double and triple, then we have an opportunity to help those folks. And not only do we have an opportunity, I feel we have an obligation to use what God gave us in Wyoming. We have more coal than China, and we're equal to many other states in oil and gas known reserves. Well, one opportunity, for instance, not only would be good for Wyoming and the rest of the country, but perhaps the whole world. We should be really encouraging our producers to put up liquefied natural gas plants. And we should be working to ship that natural gas to Western Europe in order to take that market away from Putin. It does a couple things. One, it's high-paying jobs here, job security here, and two, it allows our Western European allies to be free of the Russian energy grip. And I think that would be a very worthwhile thing to have the producers work on. That's one opportunity that's missed.